Hello, everyone, and thank you again for supporting our wonderful pod. We're just so thankful for everybody that supports us. You'll want to listen to this episode because we're going to be talking about some cool things that we're doing. You know what I mean? So buckle up and get ready for episode 53 of the How I Met My Brother podcast. This is How I Met My Brother. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the How I Met My Brother podcast. My name is Jacob Cody, and to my left is my exuberant co-host with the wicked nice polo kid, Jeff Warchalik.
That's me. I'm here. I don't know why I just did that little
Yeah, that's all right.
if you're not watching the video, don't because I just made a really weird face.
And if you are, then we're gonna clip it up and put it on Instagram anyway. So.
No, we're not. I am solid. I'm solid. It was a good weekend. Tomorrow's the 4th of July, so I'm feeling a little high.
Well, today's the 4th of July.
Oh,
because this comes
today.
out on...
Today's the 4th of July. Happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day to all of you savages out there.
It's true.
Yeah. We hate Britain.
That's right. What was it, 1776?
Yeah, that's right,
baby. That's right.
Amen.
Yeah.
Anyways, did you do any 4th of July stuff yet? I know you were in Cape Cod last week. Did you see any fireworks? Did you wear red, white, and blue? Did you, celebrate our country at all?
No, I didn't. No real overwhelming desire to. I'm not a huge fan of fireworks.
Dang.
So, they're cool, but
it's funny that you mentioned that because on Saturday were the Putnam fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was making myself laugh because I came up with this bit, like a comedy bit, about the fireworks. And it was just funny because to me, fireworks is a weird concept for the 4th of July. Because it's like, hey, we're going to celebrate our country's independence, and the way we're going to celebrate is do something that isn't great for people who fought for that independence. You know what I mean? Like, what could we do to make this even... Oh, let's make it sound like gunshots. You know what I mean? Like,
really exasperate the PTSD.
Yeah, like that's... Who came up with that? And then on top of that, it was even funnier because... This past couple weeks, the air quality's been trash.
That's another good point.
And so it was funny, we're sitting out there, and it was already foggy because of the air quality, and then we just blow up 5 tons of fireworks, and it was just, everybody was coughing, and it was funny. And every single time a firework exploded, I was like, oh, well, there goes new books for the middle school. Oh, there you go. There's the water purification system. You know what I mean? Just tax money down the drain.
You're right, though. You're not wrong. I've thought about this before, too. Yeah. But I think it needs to be in the budget to have, some kind of community, togetherness, some activities, things like that. So it's important.
Yeah, You've been to the Putnam fireworks. Do you think we really need that?
No.
Do you see the people that go there? I don't think we need to be a community with those people. I think we're okay on that aspect.
Are you talking about segregation? Yeah, no. There's some sketchy people, fellas and women.
Yeah, they just come out of the shadows.
Yeah, well, they all live behind the shopping plaza, and behind those shadows specifically is where they come out of. Bring their shopping carts with their bins full of crystal meth with them.
Yeah. Yeah, this one kid was riding down the road on a motorized bicycle.
Yeah. And
just kept pointing at everybody like he was the main event or something like that. And then the policeman pulled him over.
Mm.
And I was like, wow, this is the most action the Putnam police have seen all year. Is this 14-year-old kid on his motorized bike.
I take it he wasn't a hero like I was last year.
No. No one was as much of a hero as you were last year, that's for sure.
The department called me out to try and come work the fireworks, but I said no. I think I'm going to retire on top.
Yeah.
No more active duty for me, no more police work, no investigating.
That's why it was dangerous.
It's true, because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
They didn't have their hero.
Man. Yeah, which reminds me, too, we've been doing this pod for over a year.
I know. Pretty cool.
'Cause-
Now I see memories from a year ago and all that.
Yeah,
Pretty-
I think
pretty
I think a year ago today we recorded at your apartment.
Yeah, I got that on Time Hop too.
Yeah.
And then last year was the first episode, I think. Last week, I think we did the first
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah. Yeah, it must have been pretty. Yeah, that's. Hey, thanks to you guys. You know, I don't know why I'm pointing at my computer. You guys.
Yeah.
Not you. You do what I say. You guys.
They also do what you say.
That's right.
I also thought about this because in the Cape last year when we went with the Musto squad, I was designing a logo and we were sending them back and forth to one another. And this year, I was designing our next logo in the Cape. So
yeah,
full circle, kind of cool.
Full circle.
Do you want to talk a little bit about what we're gonna do there?
Yeah. Well, do you go ahead?
All right. So we are gonna start a golf series where I don't know how often yet. This is going to take a lot of legwork editing wise. So we don't know how often, but we're going to be playing some rounds with each other and putting the content out on YouTube and then shorter versions on TikTok and Instagram and whatnot. Kind of go through the round and go shot by shot. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Shot by shot, and then also I think it'll be fun. We'll make some like little funny ones, clip it up, post those on Instagram. And then what's really cool is we're coming up with some merch that you guys can buy to support the brand. And honestly, I just want to rock some cool, sick.
Me too.
How I Met My Brother golf merch. Brother golf, baby. Mm-hmm. What it's all about.
That's right. So keep on the lookout. Probably a cut where, actually, as we record this, we are going to film the first one after this. So I would say give it a couple weeks, and we'll be rocking and rolling.
Yep, and I'm definitely going to edit it so it looks like I shot like a 39 or something like that on the front.
Well, that's why I was thinking we could just keep the total scores off and just do like a match play type thing, so then no one knows that we shot like 55 and 56.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. No, I don't think we've ever together both shot over 50 ever.
No.
I've shot over 50, I think, a couple times with you, especially when I first started, but every time I have, you've shot pretty low, so...
I'm going low tonight, baby.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly feeling it, but...
I'm not... I just haven't played in a while.
Same. It's been a minute. Oh, I played once in Cape Cod. Before that, I hadn't, though.
Yeah, I played once by myself last weekend in North Carolina. I played all right. I shot a 44, I think.
Yeah.
But it was not bad. It wasn't bad. I had some good shots, but my putting, bro, I just got to get better,
No, I feel that's like your one weakness, the putting, and that's like my short game is my strong suit, and yours is your kind of your weakness.
Yeah, I wouldn't say my one weakness. I got some other ones, but consistently, my one consistent weakness is definitely putting. I'll put some nice approach shots. Sometimes I'll put it in the woods, but drives are usually pretty good. But I don't know, they've been iffy here and there.
Yeah, I was happy with how I played last week, too. I shot 41, and it was a par 37, so I was 4 over, and I had like a 6 in that, too. So I was pretty lights out with the exception of a couple holes.
You want to hear something really sad that I learned?
Yeah.
So...
not really, no.
No, it's not. I mean, it's not like actually sad.
No one died.
It is.
Good.
No. So... As you know, and for the listeners out there who don't know, I'm doing a golf tournament. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a little low on the attendance, but we're going to make some good material from that too, and get it work out the kinks this year, and the next year we'll have a whole year to market it, and maybe make it something pretty big and cool. Mm-hmm. But we're doing a golf tournament, and I don't know if they listen to this, but Chris. Our boy Chris.
I do.
he signed up for it.
Did he?
And we were talking. Yeah, and we were talking about how he was golfing the other day at the fireworks, and his sister's boyfriend golfed with them and said that he was on track to score like a 41 or a 40 or something like that.
Where?
At Connecticut National. And
okay, that's good.
Which is good, and he was like having a good round and all this stuff, and then he ended up with a 48 because he shot an 11 on hole 8. 11.
Boy, that's probably the easiest hole in the course, too.
Yeah, and he said he went in the water twice. And his brother, Chris's brother, Josh, was like, I was gonna tell him to pick up after double par, like so 8 is the highest you can go, but we were like competing, so I just let him do his thing.
Yeah.
But even this, like think about this. Imagine having an 11 on one hole and still shooting below 50 on the 9.
Yeah, exactly.
That's still pretty good. But I heard that and I was like, pain hit my heart for this guy.
That hurts. I've been there too. That's brutal.
Dang. Yeah, that's tough. But anyways, the tournament's gonna be sick.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna work out some kinks together while we play today. But hopefully we'll have some good playing there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've been talking to some people trying to get more guys and gals on board.
If people, the people who dropped out were the better ones too, so that gives us more of an opportunity to win this thing.
True. That's what we need. I'm really just going for the dub.
Yeah. I think you have a good chance.
Maybe.
Everybody who's signed up, I think you have the best chance. Like if there's odds, you're like plus 300 right now.
Wow. We should do that. That would be. I'm gonna take some bets.
I'll do some side bets and put some money on that.
No,
for
definitely.
Sure.
David Jr. I'm working on him. I think he's going to play. He's a heavy hitter too. If he's on, he's on.
Yeah, I've seen him. Yeah, he'd be up there. I think I'd put you at like if you're plus 300. I think I'd put him at like plus 375.
I think so too. Yeah.
He's right there. That. He could move up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I put myself at a plus 600.
You have a good chance. I
have a decent chance.
You're becoming quite.
But I've only beat you ever like once or twice.
Yeah, I think twice now.
On overall
you got me
score.
Once this year.
Yeah, I think that's it. So it's. I don't think I will. But you know me, I always perform at the highest stage, you know what I mean?
Yeah, when you need to be clutch, you're clutch. Yeah. That's what happens. Except for that one, the putt-off. Did we do a putt-off? This is an interesting story. Last year at Raceway.
Yeah.
Because we were tied.
That might have been 2 years ago.
Wow. That's sad.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, no, we were tied for skins.
Yeah.
I think you beat me overall. But we went by skins, and I think we both had 3 because we tied 3 of them, or maybe we both had. No, we must have both had 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did a putt off, and I clutched the first time. You hit one, and then I clutched it, and then the second time I missed.
Mm-hmm.
Not good.
That's a fond memory.
If it's a putt off, I was thinking about doing like a putting competition too at the tournament, making it interesting.
That would be fun. Yeah.
That's something that I definitely am going to put myself at like plus 5,000.
Dude, the day you get cracked at putting though is the day that everyone else needs to worry.
Yeah, dude. I'm it's going to be a long time, but I'm working on it.
No, you're right there. You're on the precipice.
I've been I've been speculating getting a new putter. Not that will help me, but maybe it's a mental thing. Maybe my putter is as far as I can take it. You know what I mean?
It might help you more than you think it will.
I think I'd like a blade.
A blade?
Yeah.
I used to be a blade guy myself.
I just don't like... Mine is super heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And so if the greens are fast, if I like accidentally push a little much, then it sends it. You know what I mean? Whereas I'd rather have a little more control.
Have you used mine?
Once or twice. Not in a while.
I'm just wondering if mine is heavier than yours or not. Because your putter is pretty old, and I have a newer mallet. That's like probably 4 years old or something.
Yeah.
So maybe a newer mallet might be up your alley too. We should go hit sometime. Go to Chris Cody's or Golfer's Warehouse or something.
Yeah, I'm down.
Go putt around and whatnot.
I think they make the putting greens weird though, bro. I don't know.
I know you've told me that before.
Because I hit that. You can ask Jordan. I went to Golfer's Warehouse in Auburn, and I picked up this really nice putter, and I must have hit 12 putts in a row from like pretty decent, like 5+ feet. And one was like a long. I was just like, you know what, just to test it. 'Cause I hit like 6 in a row, so I did this really long one, sunk it. I was like, I don't know, bro. I don't know if I've never done that in my life.
Yeah, I get that. I don't know. That would be such a stain to whatever that place was.
Yeah.
Because this is a game of class and integrity.
Well, you ever seen the meme where they're like, oh, you just hit that 400 yards with that driver. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, I only usually hit it 210. It's It's like, oh well, it must be the driver then.
Yeah.
Should I ring that up for you?
the pro shop,
Yeah.
the Golf Pro or whatever, talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brutal. I was thinking maybe we could talk about little Oops the podcast.
Yeah, you think so?
As a memento to those boys over there.
Respect to them. Yeah. That's what kind of started this whole thing, you know?
It's true.
So shout out to Oops. If you guys probably don't know, but there's a podcast called Oops the Podcast that started off as just two comedians, and then they kind of signed on or got brought on by Barstool.
Mm-hmm.
One of the comedians, Francis Ellis, used to work for Barstool. Long story, got fired but brought back on as they acquired the podcast, and we don't know why. Do you know why they're making them like kick them off?
I don't know why, but I'm guessing it has to do with the integration with Penn and Penn Gaming, how they bought them out, and how they're probably going through all their talent right now and like trimming the fat where they can, trying to get rid of costs and keep on the most profitable pods and content creators, you know?
I get that. I get it, you know, from a business standpoint, but I thought their pod was one of the better ones. And I've listened to a few.
Me too.
Like obviously Big Cat is like that's the heart and soul of podcasts and Barstool, and like you got to keep him and like all those. But I'd rather listen to Oops because that's what I was, you know, grew up on, you know.
Grew up on
in my podcasting life. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know either. It makes me pretty mad at Barstool hearing them talk about it. On like the most recent pod, Julio and Francis talk about how it went down. Like even Julio, you can tell he's pretty PO'd about it.
He's hurt, bro.
Yeah.
Like the size that he had, like they were just talking, you go, you could hear him, and it was just like, oh man. But he's staying positive. He's keeping the pod going because Francis, because of his contract, won't be able to do that. Won't be able to do it anymore. So, but he's keeping it going. I think it'll still be good.
It will still be good. I'm definitely going to keep listening, especially because Julio keeps saying, guys, I really need this to work out.
Yeah, I know.
My well-being.
Yeah,
so please listen.
Going in, what did he say? Survival mode or whatever?
Yeah, he said he was going into survival mode.
It makes sense. I mean, he's just a comedian. What else? What other income does he have, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he does stand-up comedy, which is big for him. He does commercials, but that's like here and there.
Yeah, it's not
movies, TV, whatnot.
Income that's coming in every month, you know what I mean?
He does his traveling videos, but he said before he doesn't make any money on those.
So it just pays for the like travel,
the trip and everything. Yeah, but the only thing that he has going regularly is this pod that comes out 2 times a week. So he needs it to work. Would you
like switch your life for like his life?
Boy, that's a tough question.
Like don't think about the relationships or just right. Career and location wise. Don't think about friendships or relationships. Would you change it?
Yeah, man.
You think
that's
so?
That's pretty sick. Think about the flexibility he has. And he has an agent and a good acting reel. So he can go on, get commercials and movie. I don't know how much movies, TVs he's done. Do the pod regularly. And like he has so much flexibility in his life.
Yeah, but that also comes with like instability. Of like you don't have a solid paycheck every week maybe, or you gotta make it work with certain things, but that would stress me out.
That is stressful. It's kind of like being a commission only like salesperson or something like that. Like you have to sell to live. You have to
sell yourself. You know?
Yeah. So if you asked me 4 years ago when he wasn't like popping off, you'd probably not. Yeah. But now that he's made it and he's definitely stable. And
I think so.
You know, especially with his girlfriend's income too and everything.
Yeah, I think it would be tough. I would say that my thing is I'd like to do it for like 3 months, see what it's like.
Yeah.
To live his life, like I'd love to travel more. I'd love to do stand up and like just make content like podcasts and videos and stuff. I have some ideas that I'm gonna run and maybe make a YouTube account.
Cool.
And start, but I'd like to do some of that stuff. Yeah, he's starting to get there.
He is. He's doing well.
He's got some good connections too. Like he knows the popular guys in the scene.
Exactly.
So
yeah, he's like really close with Pete Davidson, Ricky Velez, which are two obviously.
Big.
Pete
comedians.
is huge, and Ricky's pretty big too.
Yeah, and I feel like I think he's gonna make more and more friends. He's like a very likable guy.
Yeah, he is very charismatic.
Francis, on the other hand, I love him,
Me
but
too.
He doesn't really make friends that easily. But
yeah, he could rub you the wrong way.
Yeah, that's for sure. He's hilarious.
He got fired, but yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. Thank you to the Oops Boys though they started this. They really did.
Yeah.
I don't think if we didn't listen to their stuff first.
Well, it was really you.
That's true. I did listen first, and then I told you about it.
And I listened, and I'm not even gonna lie. Like I'm not gonna, I listen to your recommendations a lot, but I'm not gonna lie. If I wasn't on like a 6-hour ride home, I probably wouldn't have listened to as much as I did.
Yeah.
Which got me hooked to be like listen to it every Tuesday and Thursday.
It's true. Yeah, that makes sense because I recommend it to like everyone, and you're the only one that's like a regular listener now. Norm likes it too, but he doesn't listen very regularly.
Let me ask you something on that. Do you think? See, this is my thing. Like, I think people are so lame these days.
Yeah.
Like I like people don't ever want to do anything cool now.
Yeah.
Unless it's like, I don't know how to. So like, what I'm trying to say is like, you make a suggestion like, oh, listen to this podcast. Like almost like 10% would actually listen. And it's a really good podcast. Why don't people, or like with this tournament and stuff,
yeah.
I've reached out to a lot of people, and some people just couldn't because like scheduling things, and it's the middle of summer, obviously you're going on vacation, like that's understandable. But some people, like nobody like responds, like, and it's weird because people play in golf tournaments, and this is only $100. So it's weird to me, like if I was someone and I saw this opportunity, I'd be like, oh, let's go. Like I would hit you up right away and be like, let's go play in this $100 tournament and like try to win. You know what I mean? Like I don't get what people like, just even for fun, because like I know people don't do golf tournaments for fun because they're usually like $250 or $180, you know. But this one's only $100.
Yeah, $100, and you get prizes, you get the lunch, you get everything, and a peak tee time at a great golf course, which is almost that much itself. So it's a good deal. You know, I don't know. I just don't, or like little things will pop up and people will be like, oh yeah, I'm not really. Just like what happened to people, Well, most people aren't like as adventurous and want to do things like you do.
Yeah.
Like you're up for anything all the time, which is really cool.
Yeah, I'm down for fun.
You are
DFF
down for fun.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I just thought about that. Like even like the poker nights we have, we do have a pretty good turnout with like 6 of us. But even then, like people are like, and I'm just like, I get it if like it's your date night or but if you're just gonna chill at home, like that's fun, bro. Like I wish I had more people to be like, let's do a poker night like every week, figure out this day, but like it would just be me and you.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean?
You're right. I don't know.
And I'm sick of playing you one-on-one. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, really. We actually play poker every single day, whether online or in person.
Oh man, it's getting pretty close to that.
Not for me, maybe for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's gonna be a good time regardless. It sounds like there's gonna be a decent turnout. Get some guys or gals there and have some fun.
It'll be all right. Yeah,
it'll be all right.
It'll be all right. It'll be fun. I'm gonna like it. You got anything else on that?
Not on that. No, we're good.
All right, I got something that I was gonna say in the last episode, and I want to have some time for it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So this is a question that I've pondered for a little while, and like there's some obvious answers, but then there's some not so like here it is.
Okay.
Ready?
All right.
What's the difference between people like to better explain, like why are some people like in the NFL and like some people can't run without getting concussion, and they'd be like the same body type? Like you see some guys in the gym and you're like, oh, that dude's cut, but then he like can't catch a ball. Like what's the difference between that dude and like Justin Jefferson? You know what I mean? Like,
are you talking about injuries or are you talking about abilities?
No, like ability. Like why? Like, take a guy like Justin Jefferson. I don't know why he came in my mind. But
because he's the best receiver in the league.
Yeah, best receiver in the league. You take a guy like that, and then you take another guy, same build, same height, same weight, same arm length, but he can't even catch a ball. What's the difference? You know, like, what differentiates that? Like, what is there something in your brain that's like blocking? Like, you know what I mean? Like, or like, take it on a lower scale. Like, why can some people like paint and other people can't? Like, we have the same hands.
It's true.
You know what I mean? Like, what's the difference?
So,
you know?
So many different things. I think there's so many variables. Just some people have an innate ability to control their motor functions better than others, and some people just have those abilities. And I think it just comes down to genes, and then it comes down to how you were raised. If you practice that kind of thing, I feel like anyone can become decent at anything. Like, you can become an okay catcher of a football. You can become a decent, but you might not be Justin Jefferson because he's the best in the world at it.
Yeah, but, like, what? You know what I mean? Like, if you have the same size hand, why can't one catch and why can the other, like glue and just stick it?
I think it comes down to practice. I really do. I think it comes down to doing it more than the other guy.
I feel like there's something that's, like, locked up in the brain. You know what I mean? Like, where you just unlocked it and you would be like a super athlete or like a super painter or like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just got to be.
Maybe Elon's Neuralink will come into play with that, which is a very slippery slope.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That's what they were talking about. It's like right now, not to get too far off subject, but right now Neuralink is designed to regain motor functions of people that are paralyzed. Being able to walk again, move, things like that. But the more they refine it and engineer it, the closer they get to being able to like create superhumans, which is just nuts.
Yeah,
and kind of scary.
It is scary. When you think about it, like even Captain America, he's just like the way they described it when they like pumped him with the formula. Is that his cells just regenerate a lot faster, really. It's like the basis of it. So he heals faster, he grows muscle faster, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, there's that too. It also comes down to nutrition and how you treat your body, getting exercising, then getting the right recovery. Like, we are definitely not on a regimen like an NFL player, that's for sure. So there's no way that we could get even close to that level.
But I knew this guy in college, right? He was 6'5", probably 220, 230, and just pure muscle. Like, he would walk around the dorm, and he was the nicest guy ever. But like, if you bumped into him, it felt like you were bumping into like a brick wall.
Yeah.
But like, you threw a ball at that guy, it was just bouncing off him. He couldn't catch. He couldn't even run that well. Like, I just, to me, I looked at him and I'm like, dude, you should be like a tight end in the NFL right now, and you know what I mean? Like, because he'd play with us. I remember one of the first times I met him, he was friends with my buddy, and we were playing just not flag, but two-hand touch football, and he just walks down. I'm like, this guy is gonna destroy us. Like, who's guarding this guy? He's, and then I ended up switching onto him one time, and they threw the ball, and it like hit his hands, and it just fell out. And I was like, what? I just, I don't get it.
I don't get it either, and truthfully, I don't think we know the real answer. Like, you want to know exactly what gene is like the catching gene, and what about their makeup gives them the ability to do that well versus other people who can't.
Yeah.
We don't know. But I know that after that, it comes down to how you treat your body and how much you practice the skill.
Yeah, no, I get the practice thing. I just, sometimes you meet people. Like, sometimes I'll play basketball, and I'll look at guys, and I'm like, why am I better than this guy?
Yeah, because he's like a machine.
Yeah, like, if I had this dude's body, I'd be in the league right now. And yet, he can't, Like, especially, I mean, I get it, like, when you're bigger, like, it's harder to... I don't know. But then there's, like... So, like, Joel Embiid, for instance. He's 7 foot, 280 or whatever. He's huge. why can he like have? I mean, I guess it's working on footwork, but they just found that dude in like South Africa, like 8 years ago. He wasn't practicing footwork in the Congo. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like he just came and was able to do it. It's just like wild.
I don't know why. Yeah, it's insane. A funny side note about that though. So when I was playing at Nichols, 10 years ago now,
wild, bro.
football, I don't remember exactly what was said, but basically we were in practice and I was, a freshman quarterback, and I was practicing with the starters. I don't know why, because I didn't come close to touching the field in a real game, but I was practicing with them for some reason, and I said something to one of the offensive linemen. I believe he was the left guard, and he's a tank. He is actually legitimately 6'8", 300 pounds.
Jeez.
Actually. And I said something to him, and he was nice about it. It wasn't, like, rude or mean or anything, but he was like, Warchalik, shut up, man. Like, I should be blocking for Matt Hasselbeck right now, but I'm in Division III Nichols College. I was like, yeah, you're right. He said Matt Schaub, not Matt Hasselbeck. But I was like,
Did he ever
what?
amount to
That's
anything?
kind of wild. He was a great player at Nichols.
You should have just said, "Get back in the line, maggot."
Yeah, and then he actually murders me with his bare hands. But yeah,
his bare hands.
that made me kind of think the same thing though. It's like this guy is like, he has an NFL body for sure.
Yeah.
Same thing with the quarterback I played with at Central, who's like I think he's 6'7" and 245.
Oh.
The guy that went to the league and is in the CFL now. But it's like, man, he has like the prototypical NFL quarterback body. He's strong. He's pretty quick for his size. He throws the ball a mile, throws it hard. But he, a guy like Baker Mayfield gets to play at Oklahoma or wherever and then go be a first-round draft pick. But he doesn't have the ability, even though he has the size. And he was great.
Yeah.
Not trying to talk down on him. He was very good. Very good quarterback, clearly, because he went to the NFL. But I think it has a lot to do with opportunities and who you surround yourself with, too.
I think, and that's one of my questions, too, is do you think a lot of, like, sports in general, do you think it's, like, big on where they go and the opportunity they have? Because, like, I feel like you could plug and play a lot of different players, NBA, NFL, even MLB and stuff like that. Like, you could put them in certain situations and on teams, and they would excel just as much as, someone else would.
That's such a tough question to answer. I don't think it's like as simple as like you could really plug and play anybody, and I think it has to do with position too. I wonder what position is more like you could plug in anyone that has some kind of size and they would do fine enough for you.
Well, in the NFL at least, I know a ton of people have this strong belief that if you have an insane offensive line, you could plug any running back.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, and I kind of feel the same way. I feel like there's some people who are like obviously more like elusive than others, and they can get around and make things happen better. But I feel like that's why like Zeke was so good on the Cowboys and why he just ended up being trash is because the offensive line was so good and now it's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I totally agree. That's how I feel about running backs. That's why I never want the Eagles to pay a running back. Like, I'm happy. I like Miles Sanders, but I'm happy he's gone because you can plug and play anybody. The Eagles' O-line is so good. As long as you have an average running back, you're fine. Spend the money elsewhere.
So then that, like, my point, like, especially I think about it with the NBA, is there's some players that people are like, oh, this dude did nothing in his career. And then I, like, look at his stats and look at what he did with his team, and I'm like, I just feel like if you put a guy like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think, like, Tracy McGrady. Like, he was phenomenal offensively, and he had some chances and whatever, but like if you would have put him on like some of these super teams that like LeBron was on, do you think he would win a champ? Like, I just feel like there's situations where it's like, oh man, like this, it sucks that this person was in this situation, and it like tarnishes their whole legacy because they've been like shafted. You know what I mean?
How do you feel about Damian Lillard as being one of those guys? Or
Yeah,
D'Angelo Russell.
I think, well, D'Angelo Russell, he's a little soft sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But like Dame, when he had a great team around him, he did make noise in the Western Conference. But I feel like, I stand by this, I've said this 1,000 times, but if you switch Damian Lillard and Steph Curry, I think, nobody jumped down my throat, but I think Steph would not be out of the league, but be a rotation player on the Trailblazers, whereas Dame would shine in that scheme.
Yeah, I think you're right. It definitely comes down to like makeup and the coach's mindset.
Yeah, and the trainers. They said when Steph Curry got drafted, they said he had such bad ankle problems that that's why the Timberwolves, if you ever known this, Timberwolves passed on Steph Curry twice. They had back-to-back picks, and they picked Ricky Rubio and like Johnny Flynn or someone. And like everybody's like, oh, they regret that, but it's like his ankles were trash.
Yeah.
But then the Warriors like training staff was so good that there's a ton of people within the organization that said if Curry didn't get that treatment, he'd be out of the league in 3 years. And it's like all because where he landed.
Mm-hmm.
Like how, like that's good for him, but how crappy is that for someone else? You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of wild.
Yeah, it's great for Steph. It sucks though to be the other guy, knowing that how many other people could have been like that guy for them.
Yeah, especially people who got hurt often. It's like maybe if the staff or even like the technology was better back in the day, like how many of those injured players could have been considered in the greatest of all time conversation, you know?
Yeah, I totally agree. And it just, at some point, like you can put yourself in a position to be successful, but at some point it just comes down to, I don't want to say luck, but just the position you're in. And it comes down to the decisions of other people as to where your fate is going to go, you know?
And that's why MJ is that dog.
Yeah.
Because he's got like, you know, some players have that dog in them. Mm-hmm. MJ's got the dog in him, like the main basketball dog.
He does.
Because he wasn't put in a great situation. Obviously he was a third pick, so obviously the team wasn't that great. He came out right at the bat, did some great things, like scored like 35 a game in one of the seasons, but then they were like, could never get past like the super teams in the NBA, like Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, the Celtics. Like they could never get past that because he didn't have a team around him. But even then, like even when he had a decent team around him and the Pistons would beat him, it's because they were, you know, pushing him, tripping him, you know, playing dirty. What did he do? Got in the freaking gym, bulked up, and did whatever he could to make his situation better, and then he won 6 championships. That's that dog, bro.
That's what separates him from the other guy.
Yeah, and you know what LeBron did? He cried, called Dwayne Wade, called Chris Bosh, called Ray Allen, called Kyrie Irving, called Kevin Love, called, you know, AD, called, you know what I mean? Called
You're
Russell
right.
Westbrook, hung up on Russell Westbrook. But
you're right, though. You're right. That's why MJ is so much greater. So much mentally stronger more mentally stronger.
And everybody says Scottie Pippen is like, that's the reason why MJ won. I don't think Scottie Pippen is Scottie Pippen unless he gets drafted on a team with Michael Jordan.
I bet you're right.
Because he was, I don't know if you know Scottie Pippen's story, but he like walked on as like like a team manager.
Yep.
And then was like, D2 or D3 or whatever, and then gets drafted out of that, and he like barely played basketball. He was a phenomenal athlete, but imagine where he'd be if he didn't have Michael Jordan in practice, like pushing him. Like he didn't do anything the first couple like months in the league. He sucked. But MJ was probably like, yo, Scotty, you got the build for this. Like, and then probably just pushed him to become who he was.
Yeah.
And then pushed him to the point where he cracked and then didn't even want to play, you know what I mean? Which he couldn't handle it. And obviously, and everybody's like, oh, he's so great. He didn't do anything once he left MJ. You know what I mean? Like, he led his teams to the playoffs like once or twice, but didn't do anything in those playoffs and then kind of fell off, and you don't really hear about him after that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Situation, you know?
Little throwback to the Post Up Sports Podcast.
I know, that's what I was thinking about. Little, you know.
Heavy on the athletics today.
Yeah.
That's what that's just to reminisce a little. That's kind of what I like about this, is we just wherever the conversation goes, where we go along with it. We talk about what we want. And that's one of the reasons why I love Oops so much, because they'll talk about anything too.
Yeah.
And then with us, it's the same way. We, whatever flows.
Whatever floats our boats, you know what I mean?
That's right. On that given day.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, man. Do you think if you could pick one professional sport in one position to be the greatest ever, what would you pick?
Oof.
I have an idea of what you're gonna say, but I feel like it could go a couple ways.
It could go so many different ways. Right now, so I get to live that life.
Yeah, basically. you get to live.
I'm living that life.
You live the life of whatever you pick.
I'm gonna bring you through my mindset. Hockey, no. Too hard on the body, and you don't become as big of a star. You don't make as much money.
That's true.
So
but
hockey's out.
I feel like it's longer durability for some reason. I feel like hockey players, like there's like 40-year-old hockey players out there, which is weird.
Yeah,
like you don't see that in the NFL besides
ones.
Tom Brady, Drew Brees.
It's true. Baseball, I would say the shortstop of the New York Yankees, but man, those are some long seasons. 162 games. You're on the road like 3/4 of the year.
Yeah,
I don't think I could do it.
Crap ton of money though.
It's true. Baseball pays big. So it comes down to NFL quarterback or pro golfer.
Yeah, those are the two things I thought of where I was struggling, because I feel like baseball was a third there as well for you.
Ah, man, this is like such a toss-up for me. I'm gonna go with pro golfer. Yeah, I'm gonna go pro golfer.
Yeah, it's a tight one for me too. Because the golf, you can make so much money.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you could do it until you're decrepit.
That's true.
And you could do whatever. I don't know. Everybody does this, but like you could like go to McDonald's and be okay and play in the like John Daly smokes a cigarette and drinks a Diet Coke before his round, and he still can compete. Mm-hmm. Whereas like if I ate McDonald's like once and I was a professional quarterback, I'm probably like feeling it the next day in practice. You know,
that's true.
But it would be close, but I think I would go point guard in the NBA.
And so you were down between point guard and golfer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where I used to be, I would say point guard and quarterback, just because I feel like it'd be sweet to lead a team to a Super Bowl.
Oh, it definitely would.
But like you said, like one bad hit, one bad hit as a quarterback. Look at Tua. You could be brain dead.
That's the other thing that.
That's what kind of like I would still do it if I was given the opportunity.
Yeah.
But, like, to choose between it, I would rather choose... Because golf, like, longevity, like, I can do whatever I want because I'll have all the money in the world. Mm-hmm. But basketball is just too... I would love it too much to say no.
Yeah, exactly. No, I hear that. With golf, the lifestyle's good, too. Honestly, the lifestyle for football, you're home a lot is why football is so great. Like, you're leaving on, like, Thursday probably for an away game? Thursday or Friday? And then you're home. You're in your hometown the rest of the time. Whereas with golf, you're showing up to the tournament on Tuesday, and hopefully you're leaving Sunday because that means you make money. If not, you're leaving Friday and you miss a cut and lose money. But you're away for a lot. You're away from the family unless they're coming with you, and you're traveling a lot.
Yeah, but you're traveling to pretty cool places.
I agree.
And
you're
playing what you would do on your off day when you play football.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like in your off days on golf, you're not going to be playing two-hand touch football, but on your off days on football, you're going to be playing golf. You know what I mean? So doing something like that, I wouldn't... You bring the family with.
Yeah.
Like, babe, I'm going to play 18 with the boys, and then you come back home and your chef makes you your food, you know what I mean?
Exactly. I would love practice so much more for golf, too, because practice for golf is the range and the course, and then you're working out, too, but it's a different kind of working out, different kind of grind than football. And there's nothing like going through a football season. I loved it. I loved especially like training camp, the preparation and bonding with the team.
Yeah, when you smell that, when the fall leaves go in your nose, I remember that.
And the lawnmower clippings, bro.
That's right, baby.
Nothing better than that. But it's such a grind. Football is such a grind, even though you're home a lot. It's hard, and there's so much. The playbooks are so taxing mentally, especially as a quarterback. You have to know it inside and out. You have to know what everyone on the field is doing for this particular play, because if they don't know, then you have to know, or else it's your fault if the play doesn't go well. You know.
True.
But that was a solid question.
Thanks.
It's a toss up.
We've talked about it a little bit before, but I wanted to know.
Yeah. No, I like that one.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, you want to blast?
Got a blast. Yeah. So, keep your eye out for some golf merch, some golf content. We'll put it on our channel, Facebook. We'll probably keep it all on the same channel, right?
Yeah.
So just keep an eye out for it. If you're not already subscribe to that on YouTube. Notifications on. Keep listening. We're going to put out some good stuff. Just keep an eye out for it,
Mm-hmm.
Follow us on Instagram, TikTok. There'll be more content on there. What else?
TikTok, YouTube, Instagram.
That's right. We like it.
That's where we're at.
We like it. We like you.
Goodbye.
See you next week.